Mines is the thing that everybody has been talking about for the last few days. I have played this game mode literally for like around 12 hours at this point. I'm going to tell you some tips, some tricks that will help you out, hopefully, and make this grind a little bit easier, because currently this grind is hell. In this video, I'm going to be telling you the best places to farm, what bosses to farm, some general teams for the bosses, and that's about it. Mines isn't that complex, but it is a pain to farm. So let's get right into it. So for the bosses, it's pretty easy. Look, I'm gonna break it down to you like this, alright? Fire Dragon, nuke 'em. Palomita, paralyze. Paralyze, 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 and paralyze. Emerald Bird, accuracy, 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 nuke. Odious, nuke, or turtle. B3, easy nuke. Omega Palomita, paralyze, 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 paralyze. What's that last thing? Oh yeah, paralyze. Omega Odious, just don't even do this one, bro. I'm telling you, it's just not even. For the paralyzed comps, for the bosses that need to be paralyzed, you can easily take in Holy Trinity, so meaning Earth, Mirror, Finn, and Norn, using a friend Norn, and then also using your own Norn, or using TT, or any other type of really strong paralyzed unit will help. Also using equips that reduces paralyze is very good. For the nuking setups, Mono Dark is fine, Mono Water, or Mono Fire. Now for the Emerald Bird, you need to make sure you stack a lot of accuracy, because he has like around 90% evasion, so literally you need like around 90 to 100% accuracy. So using someone like Zila or someone like Sunji with Pronimios and Darkfin should be enough to help you get over that edge. Odious, same thing. You're going to be more so wanting to do a magic nuke if you do fight him, but for the most part, you may be able to get away with just physical nuking him with like Vox, Swick, and all this. So that's how you beat all the bosses, okay? That's it. Now, what bosses are worth actually beating and farming in the mines? Now, this is something you really shouldn't worry about until you're around, let's see what floor I'm on right now. I think I'm on floor 42. Yeah, so really, you shouldn't worry about farming bosses until about around floor 35. The best equips in the game right now for the mines is really B3 Claw. This is a really strong I almost said 5-star physical, 4-star physical, and it is amazing. This thing does 3,000% non-elemental damage, uses 25% of your own HP, and increases your own attack by 30%, and autofills your own arc gauge by 2 for 10 seconds, 10-second cooldown, meaning this thing has 100% uptime. Now, one thing I do want to mention is that yes, every single mines equip has a negative and a positive, but this heavily outweighs the negative. You're literally getting own attack up by 30% and autofills arc gauge by 2. Now the main problem with this, right, is that if you run B3 Claw on the same person, you're reducing their HP by 30%. You have to be careful if you run 2 of them, but for the most part, getting one and using it on like your main physical attacker will be enough most of the time if they need it. A lot of people are running this on their Mako now. A lot of people are going to run this on their Shuri later on. And it's going to be a lot of fun, because here's the thing, right? It's 25% of your own HP, but this is kind of worded weird because it's actually 25% of your own current HP. So whatever your current HP is, you take 25% of that, meaning that you can't kill yourself. So if you're using someone with like a 4-star physical and a 5-star magic, like someone like Shuri, you could use Dioric's True Weapon and this. You consume 25% of your own HP, you take some damage, you're at low health, you have Dioric's True Weapon on, boom, you full heal back to because of lifesteal that is on Dioric's True Weapon. A lot of synergy and stuff you can do with that, and a lot of ways to combat this negative. Of course, do be careful with it. You could still kind of die because, you know, you're consuming your own health, but overall, it's a really good item. Next is the Palomita 5-star support. This is a very strong item too. This is pretty much another option of Goku uniform. This uses 15% of all allies' HP, and it increases all allies' arc gauge by 35, and increases all allies' crit damage by 30% for 10 seconds, 30-second cooldown. Really, really strong, especially if you use it in conjunction with Goku uniform. It's going to be really strong because you're getting the 30%, or is it 25%? I think it's 30% damage up, right? That Goku uniform gives. I can't remember off the top of my head, but you get 30% damage up from Goku uniform, 30% crit damage up from the Silent Treasure, and then you also get attack 10% up as well. So whoever you're using this on, they're getting 10% more attack. Which most of the time, you know, if you're using this with someone like Vox, you pretty much are going to hit extremely hard. Now, the main downside, of course, is using 15% of all allies' HP. And then I guess one more, just because it has some synergy. So this right here is the 4-star support from the Palomita fight, the normal Palomita fight, not Palomita Omega. Necklace reduces own arc gauge by 50, increases all allies' arc gauge by 50. This has unique uses with some units. So let me say who. For example, whenever birth rate goes into Magia Drive, and he gets 200 art gauge back. You can pop this, boom, everybody gets 50 art gauge, and you can pop his normal art, and everybody starts art genning. You know, that is one reason. Norn is another. Norn can do it right off the bat if you have her true weapon, because she gets 100 art gauge. With her true weapon, you pop this, everybody else on the team gets 50 art gauge, but she loses 50. It has uses with some units that have that innate art gen already, or art gauge, let me say, but I don't think it's that practical. It has a long CT, but 50 art gauge is nothing to laugh about. It is very, very good. But I think there are still better options. Like, I feel like that you wouldn't use this over like Finn's shorts, Arc Ignites, you know, Keon, stuff like that. I feel like that you would never use this unless you're using it on those type of characters where you can afford to lose some arch gen on them. Like, you know, Berwick just instantly goes back up. Norn can just, you know, sustain forever. So definitely feel like it has some uses with some characters, but not every. You don't want to put this on someone like, let's say, your Finn, because you want your Finn to constantly art gen. And if your Finn's not art genning and he's doing this to consume his own art gauge and give it to everybody else, it kind of hurts everyone, because, you know, overall your art gen would kind of be a little bit low. Now, that's pretty much the only ones I want to recommend you get. I know it's very, very small of a list. Now, of course, let me just say this: do not be expecting to get these very quickly. I've been trying to get B3 Claw for a minute, and as you can see, B3 Claw, I've defeated him 49 times. 49 times. And mind you, this is random whenever he shows up. So I've beat this guy 49 times, and I haven't got a single drop. I've beat Palomita, normal Palomita, 36 times, haven't got a single drop. And then I don't think I got Omega. I haven't got Omega enemies at all that much. I've only beat this Palomita 8 times, and I haven't got a single drop, even though I do love the boss music for the Omega fights. Don't expect to get these very quickly. It's going to take some time, and that's why I say that I recommend you farm above floor 40 to like 45. Like, that would be like the ones that I would recommend you farm in. Floor 40 and then going all the way to floor 46, right? Well, this is like your first time. If this is your first time doing it and you haven't got to floor 45 yet, you want to go to floor 46 so you get the checkpoint for floor 45, and you want to just go backwards. And what I mean by going backwards, let's say I don't want to fight Palomita, so what I do is I go in here, I click this Berwick, and then I'm like, oh, I don't want to fight Palomita. I'm just going to take this team in here, I'm going to quit, and I'm going to snipe the boss. What I mean by that is that I'm going to look specifically for that one boss that I want to farm. Now, of course, I'm not going to do this multiple times because I am trying to get past floor 42, and I don't want to waste, you know, too much of my grade, because it does do a pretty big detriment on your grade. I may lose around 20 points here. Yeah, minus 25. So you see, it did put a pretty big detriment on my grade, but it did refresh my boss list. Well, sometimes it does. It doesn't do it all the time. And you see, I got Palomita. That's how you snipe bosses. You just go into mining and you quit. There's another method too where you literally go into go mining and you just go up. So you just keep doing every boss you see, which I don't really recommend that if you're trying to do it the most efficient way. But just know that this will consume a decent amount of stamina. Each mining floor is like, what, 13 stamina or something like that at a certain point. So if you have a lot of potions, you know, and stuff like that, it really shouldn't be that bad. But if you don't have a lot of potions, then you're probably out of luck, unfortunately. Now, this is future OP, post-editing OP. I realized that I didn't talk about friend supports at all in this video. So best friend supports for you to use and for you to have on your friend support for everybody else to use are by default the best in the game is Norn. Norn makes mine so much easier. After that, it's Berwick, Zila, Darkfin, Serpa, Mako, and that would be like your main ones. Now, of course, you can put Thetis as your friend support, but I wouldn't recommend it most of the time because a lot of times, a lot of people don't want to turtle through the fights, but some people do need Thetis, so it may be working for you. But those are the best units to set as your friend support units. And last but not least, what about these OP? The Pure Quartz. The buy order that you should do for Pure Quartz is LB Stone, Hero Ticket, and I think whatever else you want, honestly. But I would recommend Rainbow Gem. I think that Rainbow Gems are extremely valuable. I think the 5-star Hero Ticket is extremely valuable because that could be another Rainbow Gem, especially for someone like me who already has most of the default 5 stars in the game. However, this Quart is extremely hard to come. It is extremely hard to come. It's about as rare as an equip, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, we're talking about equipment. One last thing I do want to mention before we end this video is that the equips from the giant bosses are like event equips. So they take like, what, 12, 13 LBs, and it is highly recommended that you use LB stones because getting another one trying to farm that boss over and over for the LBs of that equip is definitely not worth it. But guys, that's gonna be it for the video. Yesterday we streamed the mines live on YouTube. It was a ton of fun. It was like a 4-hour stream of me going through the mines, and a lot of you guys seem to enjoy it too, so I may try to come back with some more mine streams before it goes away, because I think this goes away on the 31st. But yeah, man, I wish you guys the best of luck trying to grind these equips and get as far as you can in the mines. Like I said, I would say the target, like a good target floor for everybody would be floor 40. If you can get to floor 45, go on ahead and try to do it. But if you can only get to floor 40, man, hey, that's good enough. Thank you all for coming out. It's been your boy OP. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more Grand Summoners and Grand Cross content on the channel. And you guys already know, man. You guys don't forget to drink water.